Yeah, so that's the evil reptile alien question, as far as I'm concerned, is they're they're us. They're just filling a space that needs to be filled in the mentality that we're in now. But I mean, I said I believe that they exist. Do I really? Do I believe that? I'm only saying that I believe it because my philosophy about stuff is to believe everything. Like that's my definition of New Age religion, is that you believe everything. You just add your own definition to it. You know, it's like, do you believe? I don't even care what word you're saying because I already do believe it. Oh yeah, do you think every blonde person should be murdered? Well, murdered by old age. You know what I mean? I mean, there's no I don't believe. You don't say that. You just make your own definition to whatever this other guy believes. So, anyways, that's my answer about those evil aliens. If you ask me yes or no, do you believe them? Yes. Do I think about them? Fuck. No, I don't think about them. That's not what I think about. The only reason I'm even mentioning that is because I'm doing a video, what I think about Alex Collier, and he's one of those more visible alien contactees who instills a lot of fear in people and worry, and I just want to dispel that fear and worry. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be talking. I'm not saying that him instilling fear and worry in people is bad. I'm just saying that it's all going to turn out the way that it's supposed to turn out, and don't worry about anything. And I'm sure he's not worried about anything either. He just gets depressed or something. I don't know. I'm sure he's not really worried about anything. He just says he is. But I don't ever think about that stuff, and I hope I don't get defined as somebody who thinks about evil aliens, because I don't. I just think about good aliens. And I think about all sorts of other shit that I should be talking about that's not even having anything to do with this video. So that's what I think about Alex Collier, and that's about all I can think about what he said. Although I know I'm missing some stuff, but it's been months since I've heard any of what he said. Oh yeah. He said, yeah, well, you know, these Andromedans, they don't look like us. You can't tell if they're smiling or not. If a normal human being were to see one, they'd be scared shitless. Especially if it was like looking in your van at night. You'd be like, holy shit, that's an alien. And that's not a good alien, that's a bad alien. Because they're ugly as fuck. To us. And the reason that those are the ones who are talking to him, and maybe even talking to a lot of other people, and I don't know, installing pyramids under the earth in certain places to balance the energy. I don't know. This kind of stuff. The reason why they're doing that, and not our real relatives, our closer relatives, the people who look pretty much like us, the Pleiadians, and the tall whites, is because those Pleiadians are too similar to us. They're not. The only thing that makes a Pleiadian better than us is that they're already at that next level of technology. But other than that, they're humans. They're the ones who have perpetuated the whole classist mindset that we have. And we do have that mindset. As an American, it's really hard. It's a million times harder to understand that this world has that mindset. But if you go to a third world country, if somebody says, "Oh, I'm a lawyer," all of a sudden they're supposed to be like a better person than somebody who's like a garbage collector. It's like the lawyer could. Like, I rode my bike around Chile, and I was getting honked off the road because people thought I was a poor piece of shit because I was on a bike. That kind of a thing. Like, you don't realize that as an American, that people actually do have that mentality. And I didn't realize that mentality. I was in Chile 5 years, and I didn't really feel that mentality in me until like the 4th or 5th year I was there. And then I started to feel it like somebody who has like a, you know, a high paying, respectful job, and you know, and you're like a low paying paid person, unskilled person, and you're hanging out with them, you know, it's like you should defer to them for everything, not just what they're good at, but like they're better than you and they're smarter than you and they're like more spiritually advanced than you. And it's a really weird experience. You know, since I have the time, I think I'll go ahead and give those examples because the videos can be 11 minutes long anyways. I think maybe in these days, maybe even longer, because I saw some videos that were longer. Chileans do some weird shit, man. I mean, because it's a classist society. All of South America is. When air conditioning came out in cars, people would drive around in their old jalopies with the windows up in the middle of summer, hoping, just pretending that they were one of the rich people who had air conditioning, even though they're burning inside, trying to pretend like they're rich. People would go into supermarkets and fill up their shopping carts with food and walk around the shopping mall, like, I don't know, hoping somebody who they knew them see them, or just pretending for that few minutes that they were rich enough to fill up their be seen filling up their shopping with a filled up shopping cart, like they could pay for it, you know. And I mean, when people, like women, like my wife would always brag about like what I bought her, if I bought her something. If you can land, if you're a woman and you can land a man who has money, that means you're a better person than a woman who can't land a guy who has money. So then they have like these like jealousy fights amongst each other. If one person has more, then the other person feels angry that person has more, and it's really hard to describe, but anyways, that whole mentality of stratified social structure, this is what Alex Collier likes to talk about. He says it's so stratified amongst the reptilian world that you can actually tell by looking at them, that the ones who are older and are bigger, they have longer tails, and they you know, and they abuse and boss around the ones who are younger with the shorter tails or smaller, and you know, they do all the work, and the ones on the top just sit there and laugh and direct you around. And you know, back to Chile, that's what Chile was like, man. I mean, I've been in houses of like rich people screaming their heads off at like the house workers, like screaming to the point of going hoarse in the throat for a half hour straight. And the house worker person didn't say shit. We're just like, okay, I'm sorry, you know. Like a lawyer there would make like 60 times more than like a worker, you know. Like somebody in a house down there would have. I was teaching English in a house of a lady who, single mother, didn't even have a job, had 2 live-in workers, and she had 3 kids. 2 workers who were there all day, every day. I don't know. It's something. And, you know, and talk about like the differences between the third world and America. Is Alex Collier, actually, he's the one who said that America is the country that is the one that's the vision of these other alien time travelers, like the Andromedans and stuff, who come back here and are trying to create a world where that's beyond class. Like, you know, like America is beyond class. Like, in, you know, 90% of American kids go to public schools, and out of those 90%, a lot of them, you know, you've got the rich ones and the poor ones and the intelligent ones and the stupid ones and the, you know, the immigrants, and they're all mixed together, and they're all friends, and they don't care, and they don't know how much. They all dress the same, and it doesn't matter. And Alex Collier said, you know, that like even in our founding fathers, he said Thomas Jefferson up on Monticello met some hooded guy for like a half hour who told him what to say in the Declaration of Independence to make him, to make sure that we went in the right independent-minded direction, and that also in the chamber where they were, making the Constitution, some guy who nobody knew who he was gave a speech for a half hour telling him the importance of writing the Constitution and the gist of what it should be: freedom, individuality. And then he disappeared, and they all looked for him, and they looked at all the exits of the building, and he had vanished. So, anyways, I'm out of time, but that's what I think about Alex Collier.